And we are back with another special episode of the Square Table Degenerates, coming to you live on a Friday. Was it Saturday? Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern, baby. I'm your host, Joey Edibles, as always. And with me today is comedy legend from the Cleveland area, Mr. Martin Malloy. Martin Malloy, how you doing today, Marty?
Hey, I'm doing great.
That's awesome, man. So what you been up to lately, bud? How's life been?
Well, I've been doing a lot of comedy. I started getting booked at the Funny Farm in Warren, and I did another show in Warren at the Cork and Cap with the Youngstown Comedy Syndicate, Shane Herman. And it was good because they paid us, and then so many people tipped that they gave us a $30 tip each. That's awesome, man. Yeah, crowdfunding is really good for comedy. Mayo was telling me, just little bracelets and say, oh, yeah, just give me donations. People just give it $20 for a $2 item and that kind of stuff. So that's definitely possible. I sold almost $100 worth of merchandise too. I got stickers for merchandise. Okay, yes. Let's take a look at some of the stickers, man. This is some of the stickers. We're going to do a drawing here in a little bit. We have the Chicks Dig Mentally Ill guys. That's what my cat's telling me. Now give some background on that. What the mentally ill stuff. Give some background on that for me. That's just a joke I came up with because I'm mentally ill and because chicks dig me. No, I know. Let's before we go to the next sticker, let's go back. So when I first met you, you were known as Schizo Bill. Yeah, the reason I started. Oh, I got to turn off my phone. Sorry about that, guys. The reason I started as Schizo Bill was because before I started doing comedy, I was asked to be on the Howard Stern show because I was schizophrenic and voices in my head gave me winning stock picks, and I was banned from Morgan Stanley Dean Witter for insider trading. And I came in 12 in the Yahoo Investment Challenge, 12th. And but I was really getting the information from some guy online that was giving it to me. It probably was insider information. And but my boss found out about it, and my boss said I'd be fired, and my mom said she'd have a heart attack if I went on the Howard Stern show, so I canceled. But since that, I started doing as Schizo Bill, so people wouldn't know what I was up to as Martin Malloy, like if I had a job or something. And so that's the story of why I had a fake name. Okay. Rover from Rover's Morning Glory came up with the name. I called in and said my name was Bill, and he called me Schizo Bill. Okay, when you called in to Rover, did you identify yourself? What did you say when you first called in to make him call you that? Oh, I told a joke about how I had a girlfriend in the mental hospital. We never really broke up. We both underwent shock treatments and forgot we were dating. Do you get a lot of the way you deliver me and with talking about the schizo stuff is hilarious to me. Did you initially think you were going to talk like that and bring that stuff into it? It's just the way I naturally talk. Okay. And I shuffle my feet between jokes, too. Okay. Which caused a problem. One time I did a show, and the stage was really flimsy, and the mic, at that time I had motor disability in my hand, so I would never touch the mic because I was afraid I'd turn it off somehow. And I'd shuffle my feet, and the mic stand would move back and forth. And I got hardly any laughs because it was very distracting, and I probably can't go back with that booker now. So do you for those who never seen don't know what he's talking about, if you'll say a joke, you go like this, right? Yeah. Like stomp. Now, did you has he ever run into issues with that? I mean, do you test the floor before you go up? What's up with that? The floor's only been flimsy on one occasion. Okay, that's good. Most of them are pretty good. Most of the floor's not too bad. Heck yeah, Edgar, we're running the comedy shows. We're popping them, man. We're loving it. We're loving it out here. Here's Martin's next stick, and I'll explain that this one's newer. I remember when this came out. I told the twerking joke. Let me tell you the joke. I twerked for the first time the other day. I didn't do it on purpose or anything. Apparently, you just move that way naturally when you get a prostate exam. I told that joke, and a woman at Hilarity said, "Let's see you twerk," and I twerked on stage. So then I came up with that sticker. This one's good. Comedian Martin Malloy twerking for a living. That one's good. That one made me laugh when I first saw it. That one's great. We got this one. It says, "Drink up. I've been miserable since I quit." And there's your website on there. Yeah. We were just talking about in the pre-show. Like, tell me the story about why you had to quit drinking and your journey on that. That was funny, kind of.
Well, the joke for that goes like this. My doctor told me I was self-medicating myself with alcohol, so I quit drinking. And I got a message for those of you who might be self-medicating yourself with alcohol. Drink up because I've been miserable ever since I quit. I stopped drinking because I might have flunked out of law school because I was drinking. And mainly because I was taking medication for schizoaffective disorder.
Okay. And this is your old school.
Now, there's a story behind that sticker. I was on Last Comic Standing in a straitjacket in 2008. And it says FOCP, friend of a crazy person. It's like an FOP card. You show to a cop to get out of a ticket, but this is show to a crazy person and they'll leave you alone.
Right. So if you're out there and you have this and you show it to a person who's bothering you, like, oh, you're cool. You're done with the issues, dear. I dig it. And then we got this one. Do you know what anyone famous, alive or dead, Justin Bieber dead?
That's self-explanatory. And that's a picture of me eating dead with a dead skeleton, Justin Bieber. And Bieber spelled wrong to avoid copyright infringement.
That's great, man. So let's go back. Let's go way back. Did you were you born in Westlake, Cleveland area? Where were you?
I was born in Lakewood Hospital.
Okay.
And I lived in Fairview till I was 2 or 3, and then I moved to Westlake, and I grew up there.
Okay, so you went to Westlake High School. You were like a class clown. We was coming.
I was class president.
Class president. Okay. So you were a wrestler too. You were wrestling. Did you wrestle? When did you start wrestling?
In 6th grade, a year before most people started.
Okay. What when you got to high school? What weight class were you wrestling at?
I started at 105 my sophomore year, 126 and 132 my junior year, and 145 my senior year.
Okay, so what? When you graduated, so did you? After you graduated, did you continue into college with the wrestling, or did you?
No, I didn't wrestle in college.
Okay,
I did the intramurals twice.
Okay, how did your weight go after that? Did you?
I gained a lot of weight. I eventually got up to like 190 pounds most of my college days.
Okay. Now, when you was in high school, Westlake, you got
it. Damn,
he's popular. He's a popular guy. He's probably getting booking agents and stuff right now. It's a live show, guys. It happens. So when you was in Westlake, were you not just the wrestling stuff? Were you always a jokester? Like, what was your like a rocker? What was your style back then?
I was a jokester. I used to do jokes. One time I remember one practical joke they did in the 6th grade. Me and my friend who died young, he died like when we were in junior high. Anyway, me and him, he got a pot plant seed from his brother, and we planted it in the teacher's plant. But it never grew, so it would have been the greatest prank ever.
Nice. Now, did you get into any comedy back in high school? Like, what was?
Well, my commencement speech was very funny, and they said Malloy had the crowd laughing with a series of one-liners about growing up and family life.
Okay. Now, did you go to when you graduated high school? Did you work for a little bit? Did you go right to college?
I went right to college.
Okay. What was that? Ohio State? Where'd you go?
Ohio State. I worked on security at Ohio State. Not security, but the escort service. They would escort people around the campus late at night.
Right. I know what you're talking about. I used to do that for a law firm. Basically, after dark, you take like if a lady needed to walk their car, she didn't want to get jumped or something, you take her car, something like that. Yeah. Okay. So when you was down at what years were you down in Ohio State? What
1984 to like 92, and then I finished up did all my paperwork on my degree in 2000. In 1990, I got hit by a car and couldn't continue with my schooling.
Okay. We got a question. Are you related to Mike Malloy?
Mike Malloy. I have a brother, Mike Malloy.
He has a brother named Mike Malloy, so possibly Lep's out in Brooklyn. So I don't know how he knows Mike Malloy.
Mike Malloy lives in Georgia now.
Oh, okay. There might be more than one Mike Malloy too. So
yeah.
All right. So you're getting out of college, and when you were in college, you obviously couldn't finish. What did you do after that? Did you get into comedy right away? Did you start working?
I started my own business. Putting up posters on college campuses.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna start putting up posters for my comedy now, and I'm putting up Nancy Patrici Abraham has realtor flyers I'm gonna put up for her.
Okay.
So you started with the printing flyers. Did they open any?
I didn't print flyers. I would put up flyers for like credit cards, phone cards, American Express, Wall Street Journal. I was top 10 in the country in American Express and Wall Street Journal.
Okay, so you would just basically put up a little poster to say sign up for American Express?
They have inserts in them.
Okay. So did that open up any opportunities in terms of like getting entertainment known or?
Well, I can put up posters on college campuses for my comedy, but I haven't done it yet. But I'm about to start to do that.
Okay. When did you first get into comedy, or who told you? Like, you know,
November 2004.
Okay, that was right before.
I had some jokes about the mental hospital starting out with, and then I branched off from there. I performed November 2004 at a showcase at the Cleveland Improv.
Oh, okay, with the improv. Was that like an open mic or was
it was a showcase?
Showcase.
You got to audition for it.
Okay.
I auditioned 2 weeks and then they put me up.
Nice. How long? How many minutes did you? Was it 5 minutes or
5 minutes?
Okay, nice. Any jokes you remember from the first one? What was your first joke?
I still do some of the same jokes.
Okay.
The suicide joke.
Okay. Well, yeah, we got some. I think I got some of your jokes pulled up when I saved them here because when I was making your one video, I popped a little bit of jokes. A little. Let's see which joke is the best. I think out of yours for. We got the AA meeting, the Xbox cat, the fear of gays Republican, the flight. Let's just play the whole thing. All right, so here's a little. This is all that 1 minute clip you sent into the.
Oh, okay.
Kidding. So this is a little sampling of Marty's stand-up before we get into the history of it. So here you go.
I went to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and I won a 50-50 raffle. Now I have to go to Gamblers Anonymous. I had a brain injury which might have caused my schizophrenia, and here's my joke about it. I went to law school for a year. I got accepted to law school through a special program that considers adversity you face in your academic career in the admission process. Adversity I faced is I'm schizophrenic and I got hit by a hit and run driver and had a brain injury. I was very well qualified with a 3.82 grade point average, but I didn't get in the first time I applied. I guess an autistic guy with a lobotomy and a 4.0 must have beat me out. When I was young, I asked for a puppy and I got a cat. That's like asking for an Xbox and getting a cat. The word homophobic is being misused. It doesn't mean to hate gays, it means fear of gays. The word for hating gays is Republican. I saw a bunch of flat earthers playing basketball. They were using a Frisbee.
I sent in, that was for Kenan Thompson's Funniest Comic, and I came in 6th in the country in votes, and 2nd in Ohio and 2nd in Cleveland. And I don't know if I'm going to be on the show in Cleveland yet or not. And I don't know where the show's going to be at yet. They haven't decided yet or when it is.
So yeah, you heard that first year, ladies and gentlemen. Marty got submitted to Kenan Thompson. He was from Saturday Night Live. You remember him? And he had a open tryouts across the nation. I don't know how many thousands of people went into it. There was a lot of people went into it. 6th in the nation, 2nd in Ohio. So you might be seeing this guy on that show coming up. But like going back. The lottery tickets thing. You remember that lottery ticket story you always told?
Yeah.
All right, first off, one, is that true? And when did that happen? And can you tell that story?
Okay, I won $50,000 in lottery tickets. And on a $20 scratch-off called Ohio Millionaire. I bought 2 tickets. One won $20, one won $50,000. And I spent it all on more lottery tickets. And that's what I got on Opie Anthony for American Mass. I didn't win those. Some guy with a deformed head won.
Okay, so what you got 50? What did you win off the $50,000 in lottery tickets? Did you win anything off of them?
No, nothing significant.
Just get back to $1,300. Well, I guess you got to risk it. Now, how did you get? What year was you got an Opie Anthony for that? And was that the start or was that later on?
I was on Opie Anthony in like 2005.
Okay, so I was right at the beginning then. Okay.
Or 2006.
How long would you called in obviously back then? How long were you on there for?
On over an hour.
Jeez.
And I carried over to the Ron and Fez show too.
Wow. So he was on a national radio show for an hour on the phone. What they just
I'm on the phone in studio.
Oh, you were in this fucking studio. Nice. Where is there? Is it in New York?
It was in New York.
Okay.
Bill Squire drove me.
Okay. Oh, Squire. How do you like Bill? Bill's a nice guy, huh?
Bill's a nice guy, yeah.
From the beginning, man. I remember my first mic I did at the Comedy Cabin. I wish I'd still have that open. Do they still got that open?
They started it. He's doing a monthly show now. You should get on it.
Oh, I should. I love the Comedy Cabin. That's where I first did my open mic. It was dude, that was a banger lineup. I was there. It was me. Well, I'm not who the fuck was I back then, but like Just the host was Marcelo Hernandez, who's on
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he's on Saturday Night Live now. And Bill Squire was on there. Cody Cooper was on there. Cody's funny as fuck, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Does he still perform? I haven't seen anything on.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I think. Well, I know he had a kid and a family and stuff like that, but he used to post all the time. I don't think I've seen him post on Facebook in a while, like a couple of years.
He does a good, funny joke about Willy Wonka.
His sets are good, man. He's funny. He's funny because he laugh. The key is a lot of these guys don't laugh at themselves and they take themselves too seriously. He laughs at his stuff, and I think that's fucking great, man. Like, what do you think about laughing at your own jokes? You gotta laugh a little bit.
I don't do that.
You know, well, that's kind of your style though, because you're much more staring to the camera. But I mean, when you get up there, do you laugh? Because you're very serious. You're a serious guy. You're laughing a lot though, a lot on the inside. You just don't chuckle as much, right?
I get a lot of times people tell me they think I'm joking when I make a statement online, and they say that's not funny. Your joke didn't land, buddy, and stuff like that. And I wasn't joking. I wasn't saying anything funny.
You get that sometimes. Oh, there's a Powerball tonight for 700 million. Yeah, I'm not playing either. I don't. The only lottery I really play is like up at the bar when they got the Keno. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, I played Keno. I won. Last time I won anything was $270 at Crackpots.
Okay. I won $72 a month and a half ago. We got a question from Shar. She's in the UK. She says, "What made you start doing what you're doing?" So basically, what got you into comedy? What was the spur?
Well, I had some funny jokes about the mental hospital. Like I had a girlfriend in the mental hospital, and one of my first jokes was that one. I had a girlfriend in the mental hospital. We never really broke up. We both underwent shock treatments and forgot we were dating. And that goes on to a joke about how I used to forget things in the mental hospital. Like loaning some really creepy guy named Jeff $5 for getting who I loaned it to after shock treatments. So I guess when I started writing things down, you need to remember after shock treatments. And I pull out a list and read the things on the list.
So speaking of shock treatments and mental hospitals, now you got to tell us the story of North Carolina and what you was telling me earlier.
Yeah. I went to a Carnival Cruise Comedy Challenge, which I was a 2-time finalist in North Carolina, and I ran out of gas. And there was a heat wave on, and I performed really poorly the next day because there was a heat wave and I had no sleep. But anyway, I checked myself in the mental hospital because my car ran out of gas, and they gave me a Greyhound ticket home to Cleveland, and then charged me a medical bill of like $6,000.
Oh, geez. So what happened to the car? Did it just get stayed out?
The car just it wasn't worth anything. It was crap, but it got confiscated.
Oh, what was after you did the first mic up there? What was your journey after that? Before you started, before you got in Last Comic Standing, like you started up until that.
I was doing a lot of shows a lot of shows at Bella Dubby, which Mike Farrell and Jason Law had started. It was at the Bossa Vida bar on West 117th.
Okay.
I used to do a lot of shows there. That's where that sticker from the FOCP sticker with the caricature of me in a straitjacket came from for a show, one of those shows. I asked the artist if I could use it in my as a sticker, and he said yes. I paid him $24 for the file.
Okay. So when did the idea of the straitjacket come out? Did you do that? Did you test that out at like Mike's first, or was that only a Last Comic Standing thing?
The first time I did it was Last Comic Standing. I also did it one other time at a comedy contest.
Okay. Now, how did you first hear the Last Comic Standing? Was it like an online thing?
I responded to a casting call on Craigslist from Ramsey Casting, and they wanted people to dress up in a costume, but they didn't want you to do stand-up comedy. They wanted you to do something visually stimulating. They didn't want me to do stand-up comedy. And when I was there, I tell my jokes, and they're looking at me like, "Why aren't you juggling fire?" And not laughing at any of my jokes. And then I told the final joke, and they laughed louder than anyone's ever laughed. Again, it was a Republican joke, and but then they edited out when it came on TV. They edited out the judges laughing and put in Norm from Cheers saying we'll have to pass. I was never in the same room with Norm from Cheers.
Wow. So you got now. Is this footage exist anywhere?
No, it's gone. I have a picture of it on a dating profile. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see it. Yeah, but it was on. What was
It's not on YouTube anymore.
Okay.
It was illegally put on YouTube and it got taken down.
Okay. Well, here's a good question from Troy. He asks, has any hecklers ever gotten you off your game while you're on the stage? So tell us.
Yeah, one time at Erie, PA, I was a clean show. And normally when I would get a heckler, I would say something like, sorry, ma'am, I don't speak drunken whore. Or something like that, which was what I would always be ready to come back with. And it threw me off because I didn't know what to say. And another time I really ripped a heckler apart at the Cleveland Improv because she says, she just yelled out, "Eat out." And I go, "Eat out." "Yeah, I eat out." I go, "Oh, eat out." "You must have a really nasty pussy because I have no sense of smell and I can eat out for a long time." And I ripped her apart.
That's great. Mick's donated a £5 super chat, so there's a gummy. It's getting nice and big today, sir. So that's great, man. So when you was on the last Comic Standing, did you have to fly out? Where was it? In New York?
It was in Nashville, and Tim Cornette drove me down there. And he didn't get on TV because he wasn't in a costume. If he was in a costume, he would have got on TV.
So they wanted people in costumes then.
No, just to get on TV. Now they weren't. Anyone in costume wasn't considered to move on to the next level.
Now, do you think that just because of how corporate people are and stuff like that, that like something like a Last Comic Standing or a comedy elimination show is just kind of not really doable? Because like, dude, most comedy, at least the way I see it, the funniest comedy I like is the shit, where there's swear words, it's not really family appropriate, you know what I mean? What's your take on like, the whole clean comedy and you got to perform a certain way?
I hate clean comedy.
Me too, man.
I got 60 jokes that are TV friendly, but I hate having to do that.
I do too. I hate all of it. I mean, it's not, and we haven't even sworn much in this show. But it's like, if I want to say fuck, I want to be able to say fuck. I don't want somebody to go, you can't say that. There's a person over there who's offended by it. It's a word, man. And it's not like it's a hateful word. I mean, I'm not going to go out there and say hateful words just to say them. But if I want to say a swear word, I should be able to say it. If somebody, who are these people who get offended by this? I just don't know who these people are. What's some old lady who doesn't really, some 90-year-old who never goes out of the house? That's not the audience. I don't get it, Marty.
But I did a clean show the other day, and the booker beforehand told him, I won't do my herpes joke. And he's like, "Oh, you can do your herpes joke." So I did it, and it went fine.
Nice. All right, we got a question from Troy. He says, "Are there any comedians you don't like following? If so, why? Like, who are your you don't have to throw anybody under the bus, but like any national type comedians you're just like, I don't really like these people or something like that?"
I don't understand the appeal of Gabriel Iglesias. He tells a lot of stories about drinking, and there's really no punchlines to it. And I don't find him funny at all, and I'm surprised he has such a big following.
The fluffy guy. I've seen a couple of his things. I don't know. It's after a while. It's like some comedians are like funny for a little bit, and then they just drop off. Like their shit's just not funny because it's so saturated. Yeah, I mean, like, do you remember when Larry the Cable Guy was big? Yeah. And like everybody was quoting Larry the Cable Guy. And it was funny as hell for like 2 years, and then it just fell off a cliff. Do you think that's would you rather have had like a huge peak, like 2-3 years where you're really big, and then just kind of, or just do you like the grind of it? What's your take on that? I mean, I
want to get on TV again and become more bookable because a lot of the emails I send to bookers, I get absolutely zero response.
They're not.
I finally got a message back from a booker in Pittsburgh. I've been trying to book Pittsburgh, and I've been adding friends on Facebook in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and Columbus and Toledo because I'm trying to work in those cities. And I finally heard back from someone in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, Pittsburgh's a decent town. I mean, a lot of people, because
it's McKees Rock is where the show is that I heard back from.
Pittsburgh's hillier than people think. Pittsburgh's got a lot of hills, man. That's not an easy town to walk around in. Troy said, I meant like going on stage after them because they. Oh, okay, so like he's basically saying, has there been a time when you went up after somebody who was talking shit or like?
Oh, I went up after a woman one time in a comedy festival that did music parodies, which a lot of times those are really bad and get hardly any laughs, and it just sucked the whole life out of the room. I prefer going after someone that does good, even if they do better than me. I prefer going after someone that does good and has the crowd already laughing.
Okay. Yeah, Edgar says he doesn't like. We were talking about this in the pre-show. Actually, I think we just talked about this, but he doesn't like comedians laugh too hard at their own jokes. I tend to laugh a little bit at it. Marty doesn't laugh at all at his own. You don't laugh at all your own stuff. Nothing. You're deadpan. Did you have any early influences? Like you kind of the way you deliver stuff and don't laugh kind of reminds you of the one guy who used to
Stephen Wright.
Yeah, Stephen Wright. And there's who's it? Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, but I shuffle my feet between the jokes, so that's a little bit different. And plus, I have to do mine is from a mental illness. Theirs is from they decided to perform that way. And I also do a joke about my delivery.
Right. Your delivery is so deadpan on it's man.
I explain why I do it because it's called a flat affect. It's a symptom of mental illness.
Okay. Now, how old were you when you first were diagnosed with mental illness?
Well, when I was in 1986, when I was like 20 or 19, I was in the hospital for psychosomatic disorder. And in 1996, I was paranoid the government was plotting against me because someone played a trick on me and had these people act like they were with the government. And I got sent back to the mental hospital.
Now, what's it like in these mental hospitals? Is it? I mean, I've seen the.
In 1996, I got diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder.
Okay, so like when you're in there, do they? I mean, are you like? Is it like a big room with a bunch of people? Are you in like your own room? Like, how do they?
It's a big room.
Okay.
And you have your own room too.
Okay.
And you usually have a roommate.
Okay. Any? Did you get along with most of those people? Any?
Well, I used to do a joke about my one guy. He was an angry black Muslim roommate, and he thought I was the devil because I was white. And he always had to keep his eye on me, so he always would never let me out of his sight. And he went to have sex with a woman down the hall, and he brought me with him so I wouldn't, so he can make sure I'm not doing any mojo against him. And I had sex with the girl down the hall. I talk about it in my ex sometimes.
Nice. So. So after Last Comic Standing, did you come back home to Cleveland? Were you living in Westlake at the time? You currently still? Or you're in Lakewood now, right?
Yeah. During that time, I was living in Bay Village.
Okay.
With my roommate. I do a joke about him. He's a conspiracy theorist who got his leg amputated.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Do you like the flat Earth ones? I mean, not that you believe. Like, what's your favorite to make fun of?
I make fun of the flat earthers. I think that one's ridiculous. And the QAnon that think Hillary eats children's faces. I had someone send me a video on that. I don't believe that's true.
There's some.
The one thing that I think some of the QAnon people have right is that there's a lot of pedophiles in government and stuff like that. I think that might be true.
Very true. The whole island thing. Well, I mean,
yeah. How come the guest list never got out of Epstein's Island?
Right. Well, they want to pay to keep the people. People probably paid billions to keep that bad boy shut. Right. I mean,
yeah.
It's what a crazy thing to think about. But like when you was where was I at? I'm getting a little high here, so you know how it goes. Well, have you ever smoked weed like back in the day?
Yeah, I smoked weed.
Okay.
I would get paranoid and think I could feel the earth moving.
I had a guy, my buddy, right? He works for I don't want to give anything out because they dox him, but he works for some city where he's not allowed to normally do it, right? So we go to the Browns game and he has a gummy, and he gets in his seat and he's sitting there. He's so paranoid. In 10 minutes, he thinks everybody's watching him. He leaves and pays $75 for an Uber to go home and doesn't watch the game because he was so paranoid at the Browns game because of one little gummy. And
I went to the Browns game a couple of years ago with my friend.
Okay, which I got season tickets. Which one was it?
I was a Cincinnati game.
Okay, I was probably here for that bad boy. We were dominating Cincinnati for the longest, and then we lost that last one. I'm glad the Bengals didn't get in the Super Bowl, man. I'm not. There's like 4 teams.
I'm rooting for Mahomes.
I am too.
I like him from the commercials.
I don't like that they got rid of the original Jake, but I just Mahomes.
They got rid of the original Jake?
Yeah, the black guy now.
Is it a different guy now?
Yeah, it's a totally different guy. They got some actor who doesn't work for State Farm. The original Jake doesn't do it anymore. He hasn't done it for like 6 years now.
No, the original Jake was the black guy, right?
No, the original Jake was just the white guy who worked for State Farm. Remember what are you wearing? Khakis. That one?
Oh, that was Jake from State Farm.
Yeah,
that was the original Jake.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flat Earth is over my shoulder, so there's the flat Earth right there. What's with the Chinese spy balloon they're wanting to know? What do you think about that? You heard about that? The Chinese spy balloon? You followed that in the news?
Oh yeah. Well, I've heard some of the even things that are even more alarming than that, like that the Chinese own cell towers near military places, and so they can tap the phones of all the military people and stuff like that. My friend Mark Rush told me that.
Okay. I think, people are like, why don't we shoot it down? And, somebody said, what if it has anthrax in it? And that's a good point. If you shoot the balloon down and it's over Iowa, half of Iowa gets fucking skin lesions 2 weeks from now. You don't want that. And then, because the one was funny, it had a big TikTok logo on it. The one that made me laugh, it's kind of insensitive, but you got to say it. They said, the balloon, somebody spray painted the balloon, says, totally not spying or rotally not spying. That was great, man. The TikTok one made me laugh great too. There's another one flying through Latin America that they're saying. So
there's another one flying through Latin America?
That's what my buddy John just said. Yeah. It's I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with these balloons, man. I don't at the end of the day, China can't keep flying balloons over and we can't do anything about it. But at the end of the day too, there's nothing in America you can't see from satellite pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure China has satellites.
Oh, well, even the Russians had, as soon as back in 96, 97, whenever GPS was totally good, at that point, the whole Earth was photographed. On Google Maps and Earth, they'll blur out some of it, but you could go to old Russian websites and see a lot of it. Like they used to track Area 51 through that and all that.
My friend went to Area 51. He was a vendor for them.
Okay.
So he actually was there.
I've been to the base, Nellis Air Force Base, down because I was in Air Force. The Nellis Air Force Base is down by Vegas. And then what they do every day is they would have a plane for Lockheed Martin, and they would fly the people from Nellis to the place and back. And I don't know what, I think back in the 80s and 90s they were doing a lot more stuff there, but I think now it's kind of stagnated. I don't know what.
Well, are the aliens there?
I don't think they are.
Where was the aliens crash land?
Roswell, yeah, 47 Roswell. I just knowing what I know about
First they announced they were aliens, then they announced it was a balloon.
Right, weather balloon. Yeah, I'm not going to sit and act like I'm an expert about Roswell, but like knowing what I know about the Air Force and the way they do stuff, it would be so hard for them to cover stuff up because the Air Force is just not competent. You know what I mean? They just throw money at stuff. And the Air Force is probably the best of the branches, and some of the Army's even worse. The Army couldn't cover up a fucking sore with a Band-Aid. That's how bad they are. They are just, my goodness. You get some Army guys, the Army has 4 to 5 people for every position more than they should, in my opinion. Like, they had the Army singers, right? They go up and sing a song, the Army, morale band or whatever. And they would have like 10 people with microphones on stage. Like, why do you need this many people on stage? Just have one person with a microphone.
Oh, is this going live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, listen, I want to tell everyone, I'm at Around the Corner tonight at 8 o'clock at my twin nephew's birthday party, if anyone wants to stop by.
Okay, so nice. Around the Corner in Lakewood tonight at 8 o'clock. Around the Corner is a good bar.
And I've got a big show February 9th at High Dry at 8 p.m. It's a free show. And I got a show March 3rd, Pay What You Want, at Dunlap's Corner Bar at West 32nd Street in Cleveland.
Okay, nice. So if you're local, man, come out to some of these shows and check it out.
It's at 8:30 p.m. at Dunlap's Corner Tavern on March 3rd.
Oh yeah, Jamie, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Yeah. So, what do you think the future? Well, let's go back. We got sidetracked there for a minute. We're right after you did Last Comic Standing. Now, when you got back from that, did you get any initial pop? Like, oh wow, I was on Last Comic Standing.
Well, it didn't air until 7 months later.
Okay.
I did it like in March, and it aired in June.
Did you have to sign like a confidentiality agreement?
I had to sign something. I don't even know what I signed.
Did you follow the terms? Did you tell somebody, or was it tempting to tell somebody, or?
I didn't know if I was going to be on TV.
Oh, so they didn't even know.
I didn't know. Okay. I was at work at McDonald's, and I called my friend. I knew what day I was going to be on, if I was on, And he said, yeah, you were on. And so I thought they showed me and the judges laughing, and I was going to get a good response from it. But instead, it wasn't as good because I didn't get the laughs.
They edit. I've talked to several reality stars shows, and pretty much all that stuff is fake. I mean, it's some of you kind of think it's rigged almost, because it's like, you see these American Idols, and they always seems like they want somebody, and they always pick them. That's kind of wild. What was do you know who won that year? Do you remember?
I don't know. It might have been Eliza Schlesinger.
Okay. I've never heard that name. I don't really.
Bill. I think it was Bill Bellamy was the host that year.
Okay.
He hosted 2 years in a row.
Okay. Now let's go into the Bill Burr story. How did this all come about? What year was that? And describe what you're doing.
That was in 2005 or 2006. And I called up and told the story about the lottery tickets to get in an American Mass. And then I called back and I said, can I come into the studio? And they said, yes. And I came in.
So this is in New York, right? With Opie Anthony and Bill Burr?
Yeah.
Now, did you just drive out there? Where'd you park?
Drove out there.
Okay. Did they have parking for you, or how'd you end up parking?
I had to pay for parking.
Oof. New York parking's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
We had to.
But I was getting student loans back then, so I had plenty of money.
Yeah, the good old student loan hustle. Because then when you get declared 100% disabled, they just get rid of it.
I got a disability discharge on all my student loans.
Nice. Because we had a lot of, that was a big benefit a lot of vets would get, because they would just, get out of service, and if they got, 100% disabled or whatever, that just instantly qualifies for the Department of Education to discharge all your loans right there. And I tell people that, oh, wow, that's so cool. That's a great benefit. But so you go to Opie Anthony, and it's was it high up in the building? Like what?
Yeah, it was high up in the building.
Okay, did they? Was it were you just sitting there and they were headphones on? Obviously,
I had headphones on, and they brought in a beekeeper to mess with me. They acted like he wasn't there, and they kept acting like I just got there, and they would repeat everything over and over again. And I almost went insane. I almost literally went insane.
So do you think, in their opinion, they were kind of fucking with you, or was
they were trying to get me to kill myself, I think.
Okay. Do you think? Do you still follow Bill Burr now? Do you think he's?
I've seen Bill Burr do stand-up comedy twice, and I really like him.
I do too. Bill Burr's he's a good.
Bill Burr's very funny.
He's funny as hell. He's one of the few voices, because a lot of people can't say what they want to say because they think they're going to be canceled or whatever. Bill Burr doesn't give a fuck. He just says what he wants. What's your opinion on that whole cancel culture? Do you ever worry about that? I
don't worry about cancel culture. I think I mean, Louis C.K.'s not canceled. He's still performing after what he did.
He came back.
And cancel culture is just a bunch of Karens out of control.
The whole term Karen's kind of funny, right? It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? There was this one girl named Karen I really liked back in the day when I was a security guard back at Brecksville. She had some fucking big ass titties, man. And one day, it was the summertime. She was wearing this tank top, and she had no bra on, I could tell. And she had to run out of her car for something. I was just staring, and she was running in her flip flops, and her boobs were just going everywhere. I was just sitting there like, ha ha. I think I thought about that 100,000 times. That's great, man. But yeah, Karens are. The whole online thing, people just start complaining on Twitter, and they complain about the most random shit, and then people act like this is everybody. And then you go talk to them in real life, and they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They love the swear words and the fun stuff about comedy. So I think the whole.
Well, one thing that's canceled is my suicide joke. I tried posting it in some comedy pages, and I put the suicide hotline number on it, and they wouldn't allow me to post that.
What is it? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
There's a lot of awkward moments when you're schizophrenic, like when you jump off a bridge to kill yourself and just break your legs. It's awkward when you have to call a cab and try to explain why you only need a ride to the top of the bridge. That was one of my first. That might have been the first joke I wrote, besides my very racist one that I told years before I started doing stand-up comedy.
It's funny why you only need a ride to the top of the bridge. That's fucking great. I love it, man. Oh yeah. So you were after the whole. What was your trajectory after 2010ish kind of going forward? What did we just kind of hitting the?
Well, I had to stop doing comedy for a while because I was living in a group home and they had a curfew, And plus, I had to pee every couple of minutes because I had an enlarged prostate. That's why I had to go to the group home. I couldn't afford a place to live on my own.
Okay. So then you get back into it. Where were you? We just, who were some of the people you ran with? I mean, everybody has like their guy or two that you're like, hey man, you got some time. Is it just Bill typically? You usually hit up Bill if you.
Bill gets me on a lot of stuff. And I performed at the Agora with Bill. And I do High and Dry with Bill. And I did East End with Bill the first Wednesday. I think it's the first Wednesday of each month. He does East End. And I'm doing High and Dry in the 9th.
Okay. Yeah, Bill's a good dude. I like
and Mary Santora told me I could open for her sometime as
nice.
a feature act.
Nice.
And so I'm planning on doing that one eventually.
Good deal. Yeah, Mary, for those who don't know what we're talking about, you international guys, Mary Santora and Bill Squire run the afternoon drive show on Paul just said they shot down the balloon. Okay.
They shot down the balloon?
In South Carolina. Yeah, we'll have to get on.
Oh, it got all the way to South Carolina.
That's what it says there. Let me let's see what's up. Let's go on fair. No, let's check CNN maybe? I don't know. But what was I just? Oh, man, Mary and Bill are on. There's a radio station called WMMS, the Buzzer 100.7, and they run the afternoon drive show with this guy named Alan Cox. Have you ever got to meet Alan Cox?
Yeah, I've met Alan Cox. I was in a couple months ago. I was in the studio.
Okay. You know what? I think I remember that. I tuned in for a little bit of that. He's a pretty nice guy, Alan Cox. I know. Okay. He's from New York or something, right? He's not from Cleveland.
I performed with Bill before with two of his specials. Okay. One at Hilarities and one at Funny Stop.
Okay. He recorded both of them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Biden says we're going to take care of Chinese spy balloon. The FAA has issued ground stops for 3 airports for national security efforts. So I guess the balloon's down. So it's on the news, he says. Okay. So so Edgar said they saw the bikinis in Myrtle Beach and decided to take the balloon down. I wonder what the whole purpose. Let's take some bets, guys. What do you think that balloon was? It was just I don't think that they had the balls to put chemical warfare in there. There's some people joining us live in the studio. Welcome. This is my wife, Kim. Well, you met her earlier, that's right. But yeah, they shot down the balloon, they said. The Chinese spy balloon.
No.
That's
I don't drink coffee.
Oh.
I love me some coffee, man. What do you drink? Like, well, you drink a lot of Pepsi.
I drink a lot of Pepsi.
Pepsi's your go-to. I used to drink tons of Pepsi, man. I used to smoke cigarettes and drink Pepsi. And Mountain Dew. I like Mountain Dew a lot, too. And then back in 2007, I was down in Arizona on an air guard trip. And they banned smoking in bars. I used to go to the bars all the time. And I was like, well, fuck. So we went to start going to the casino because you could smoke in the casino still. And then, but that got expensive. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I quit smoking and quit drinking pop in the same time frame. I haven't smoked or drank pop since. But did you ever smoke cigarettes?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I tried it and it was terrible.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes is not good, yo. I am not a cigarette smoker. I am not. Mountain Dew, yes. Mountain Dew was pretty good. Did you ever fuck with Mountain Dew?
I drink it occasionally.
Okay. I used to get one Mountain Dew every morning. Because I was like, when I get up, I was like a little caffeine in the morning. I mean,
Mountain Dew has a lot of caffeine.
It does, right? Fuck it. There's so much sugar in it. I couldn't really drink pop now, I don't think. There's so much sugar in it. I don't really like the sugary taste of drinks.
I drink milkshakes at work, too.
Okay, so you work at McDonald's now?
Across from Crocker Park.
Okay.
3 days a week.
3 days a week. You guys stay under a little bit to keep your Social Security, don't you?
Yeah, I can only work up to 22 or almost 23 hours a week.
Okay. So what do you think the future is going to hold for you, man? You think, tell us, that's right. Tell us about the project coming up with was it Keenan? Did you have something else too?
Well, Keenan Thompson, I told you about that. I came in 6th in the wild card round. I came in 6th in the country and 2nd in Ohio and 2nd in Cleveland. And I'm hoping I get on the Cleveland show. And this guy named Josh Banasek, he was like 2nd in the country and 1st in Cleveland and 1st in Ohio. And Manny Ortiz did fairly well in it too.
Okay.
And Bill Stone was also in it. I hope he makes it because he's really funny. And so I might get on that show. I don't know if I'm going to or not. But I sent in a tape to America's Got Talent.
That's what it was. Tell us about that.
And after about a month, they sent back saying that was fun. I'm going to show it to the other producers and see if we want to move forward. And then I sent in 2 more tapes because I thought some of the other producers might have a problem with the first 3 jokes I told. One made fun of the mentally ill, one made fun of ginger people, and one made fun of flat earthers. So I scrapped those jokes and put in some other jokes, and I sent in 2 more videos.
Okay. So how does America's Got Talent work? Is it kind of like do they have like regional qualifiers? Do they just bring in people
I don't know how it works. I've never watched the show.
Okay. So,
but I know Jeff Shaw said he did really good, but the woman Simon X'd him out, and a woman X'd him out because she said she doesn't like comedy, which is weird if she's a judge on America's Got Talent.
Right, because stand-up is one of the hardest forms of art, man. People might not think that, but like to ask a room of people you may have never met before, or whatever, to listen to you yap and just talk. There's no music, there's no artwork in the background. It's just you talking with people, and you got to make them laugh. That's a high ask. It's a high burden. It's one of the hardest forms to really master, I would say. Would you agree with that? Like,
yeah.
like if I would say, hey, Marty, let's go paint a painting. We could easily paint a painting. You might not be whatever, but there's no win or lose. Art's subjective. Comedy, you either make them fucking laugh or you don't. You know what I mean? If they're not laughing, people are going to question you as a comic. So you got to have balls of steel when you're going up there sometimes with some of these people. You ever run into crowds just like, don't laugh?
Well, occasionally, this has happened to me like twice. There's a guy that brings the whole crowd and they only laugh at him.
Nice. That's so bad. I mean, it's like that at some mics though. I mean, you'll get like, especially if it's not a showcase, if it's like an open mic and you get some newer people and they'll bring in 8 other friends. You know what I mean? They'll laugh at that guy and then just leave. You know what I mean? If you're out there and you're doing a showcase, you should, even an open mic, you should really stay for the whole show, no?
Yeah.
I mean, just out of courtesy, I mean, you want them to be there for your shit. Don't just do your 5 minutes and then dip. That's not cool. I don't know, man. It's what do you think about people like everybody obviously always thinks they're the funniest, but like, do you think some comics are selfish? Like they don't want to grow with people. They don't want to, what's your take on that? Like just the selfishness of some people. Do you think some of them are selfish, or maybe they think they're funnier than they are? They're God's gift to comedy, something like that. What do you think?
A lot of people think they're funny when they first start out. A guy sent to me on the internet, sent me a tape of him doing comedy. He got really good, strong laughs, but I couldn't recognize anything he said as possibly being a joke besides him dropping the F-bomb. And he's going to find out real soon when his friends stop coming to his shows that he's not funny.
Yeah, you got what's up, Groovy? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, you have to get good audio when you're recording it. And I know a lot of people struggle with that because it's hard at some of these venues, but like if you're going to get something especially for online, if you want a TikTok clip or a YouTube short or Instagram reel or something like that, you got to get good audio. You almost have to have someone up on stage record you with their phone or something. Because if not, if you're just holding up, you got somebody way in the back and you're like, you can't hear what they're saying. There's no value there for the people who judge things. People, if you're out there and you want to be a comedian, you want to get these people's attention, you got to have semi-coherent shit. No, like they got to be able to hear this shit.
I recently got accepted to the Flagship City Comedy Festival in Erie, PA.
Okay.
I was going to visit Daniel Brady in the hospital today in Cincinnati, but I remembered I was booked at my cousin's, my twin nephew's birthday party around the corner at 8 p.m. tonight.
Okay, around the corner. I might have to see what's up with that tonight. Lap, if you're still out there, let me know what you're doing tonight. I'm with my planning, man. I have to write shit down because, like, you see me smoke all this weed. I'm a fucking huge pothead, yo. So it's like I forget half the shit that's coming on. That's why it's like with the comedy thing, I don't do as many mics as I can because, like, like I was saying earlier, I got YouTube. I can just talk right here. But it's like when I do a mic, I like making it big, man. I like the house packed. I like the more people in there, the better. I'd rather perform to a sold out house 10 times out of 10 than there's a group of 8 people over there who really don't want to be here. You know what I mean? And we were talking about that too earlier with because you go to some comedy shows, and you're just a secondary act. You might as well be a fucking jukebox. I mean, here's the jukebox, here's the comedy guy, here's the fucking dartboard, and there's a pool table. You're sitting there telling a joke, and they're sitting there racking up the 8 ball. Hell yeah, man. All right, I'd like to thank Mr. Martin Malloy for coming out. It has been a fucking pleasure, sir. You can check him out. I'll follow all the socials below. Veryfunnycomedy.com. Any last words for you here?
No, just I hope I get on America's Got Talent, and if I get to the final round, I think you vote for me. That'd be good.
Heck yeah, man. So if he gets to AGT's final round, we'll drop the link and let you guys know what's up. Thanks for coming out. Join us Monday. We got Roger Moore's son, Jeff Moore, coming in. It's going to be live on a remote. Talk to you guys later. Bye.